Live from Fargo and serving you on TV, online, and on the go. This is Valley News Live at 10.
Light snow has been falling all day, and that buildup is causing slick conditions on area roads. Troopers and local police departments have been responding to multiple spin-outs and accidents this evening, and more snow is on the way. A winter weather maker is starting to hit us right now, bringing even more snow for our morning commute. Let's get the latest now from Hutch.
Really, visibility being reduced here in the FM area as snow begins to fall once again. Beginning our work week, we can see on the radar that the snow is now pushing into the Red River Valley counties of North Dakota and Minnesota, with a heavier band down to the south, pushing in towards Aberdeen right now. That'll continue to maneuver off to the east this evening. Notice a fairly quiet area between Lemoore and Lisbon, heading towards Fargo, though. In Castleton, we have some flakes working their way through. It's light to moderate snow at best. And right now, Grand Forks seeing a fairly wide swath of snow working its way eastward through your area. This snow has already produced 4 inches in Jamestown, an inch in Grand Forks, and still snowing. Devils Lake with 3.5 inches. Fargo and Gwinner at about an inch. Winter weather advisory, Devils Lake Basin through the James River Valley, and that also has been posted out in the Sisseton area, and the Twin Cities going to get hit with some pretty heavy snow. Roads and travel impacted a little bit, but we're not getting a lot of wind with this yet as we head into the overnight hours. So for your morning commute, the snow looks like it'll be pushing off into Minnesota. We'll have details on what the rest of your Tuesday brings, but we'll have some wintry travel conditions on and off throughout our day.
Okay, thanks, Hutch.
You bet.
The snow that's already fallen isn't going away anytime soon, and it's causing potential hazards across the metro. From slick roads, like we mentioned, to the snow piles causing blind intersections. Plenty of people say they're concerned for their safety when they get behind the wheel. Valley News Teen's Katie Opperly explains.
The recent snow in Fargo is causing some residents to worry about drivers barreling down slick streets.
Even with good tires, yeah, I've slid about 15 feet and I wasn't even thinking that it was that slick.
But the weather is also causing the issue of snow building up along the side of these roads, narrowing lanes for cars to drive on.
The snow has taken probably, 4 to 5 feet of the width of the roads because we don't even know where the curbs are right now.
Gold Drive in Fargo is just one example of this problem, and it's escalated by having people from the nearby apartment complex parking on both sides of the street.
It feels like you're parked in the middle of the road, and then it's like only one car can pass at a time. And this is a busy road. There's school buses and there's a lot of kids around here and a lot of businesses.
We measured the width between the cars parked on the road to see how much room there is to drive through. It was just over 18 feet. But according to the National Association of City Transportation Officials, an average-sized car needs about 9 feet of driving room, with larger cars needing more.
Cars will have to wait and basically give another car the right of way.
People say they have seen their fair share of close calls as drivers aren't able to stop on the slippery roads when they realize they don't have enough room.
If you have cars parking on both sides and then 2 cars trying to come by, it gets very dangerous.
Slick roads, narrowed streets, and people driving too fast. It can be a dangerous combination. In Fargo, Katie Opperly, Valley News Live.
Officials recommend that people park on one side of the road if possible to help prevent this issue. Also, slowing down is always advised on poor roads, especially when there are several cars in the area. Make sure you get important notifications like school closings and weather alerts straight to your phone. You can download the Valley News Live News app. Just search VNL News in the App Store or Google Play Marketplace. 16 cattle are dead after a tractor trailer ran off the road into a snow-filled median earlier today. The North Dakota Highway Patrol says it happened around noon on U.S. Highway 2, about 3 miles west of Devils Lake. Troopers say a truck tractor passed the truck trailer towing livestock, causing a snow fog. The driver of the livestock truck was blinded by the snow, causing him to go off the road and hit an embankment, tipping the livestock trailer onto its side. There were 83 cattle inside, destined for the Devils Lake sale barn. 16 cattle were killed in the crash. The driver was not wearing a seatbelt and has minor injuries. A scary scene for parents and players at the Southwest Youth Ice Arena in Fargo tonight after a young boy's throat was slashed by a skate.
During a practice, 2 of the young players collided, and one of them suffered a skate to the throat area where he was cut, and he was bleeding heavily.
Fortunately, coaches and nurses in the crowd rushed to the ice to help the child until an ambulance arrived. Police tell us the boy, who is on a Fargo squirt team, was conscious and talking, and that his injuries are not life-threatening. The child was taken to the hospital in an ambulance without the lights or sirens, which police say is a good sign. We're learning more tonight about an elderly man who was found dead in a car in a Fargo parking lot. On Saturday morning, officers with the Fargo Police Department found 68-year-old Roger Geldahl dead in a car in a parking lot on 32nd Avenue South. Police tell us they don't believe Geldahl died due to the weather, and they don't suspect foul play. The incident is still under investigation. We told you last week about a Deer Creek resident who had both of her back tires slashed on her vehicle. And her case was one among several car vandalism cases in the area. And now the tire slashers are at it again, this time in West Fargo. 2 employees at the Burger King on Veterans Boulevard found their car tires slashed early this morning. The manager there tells us it happened about 1:30 a.m. and that one car had 2 tires slashed, the other car had 1 tire hit. It was caught on surveillance video and handed over to West Fargo police today.
My manager didn't find out that his tire wasn't slashed till he was on the highway. And when he was on the highway, I had called him because I needed him to come back and give me a ride home because I'm like, my tires is messed up. He was like, man, mine is too. I'm like, what? So I'm like, he's like, I'm on the side of the road waiting on the tow truck. I'm like, man, get out of here. He was like, man, my rear passenger side tire slashed. I'm like, mine is too.
As for the woman in Deer Creek, that tire slashing is still under investigation with Fargo police. If you have any information on either incident, you're urged to call dispatch at this phone number, 451-7660. Lawmakers negotiating to avoid another government shutdown reached an agreement in principle to keep federal agencies open after Friday, when current federal funding is set to expire. The bipartisan group, which has been in talks since last month, did not provide details of the agreement and did not indicate whether the president supports it. It was also not immediately clear if the agreement included additional money for border security, as President Trump has demanded.
There's not a single one of us is going to get every single thing we want, but nobody does. But we're going to get what is best for the United States.
The lawmakers announced the deal minutes before President Trump was set to take the stage for a political rally in El Paso, Texas. After an overdose death on Sunday and another one today, Grand Forks police tell Valley News Live they are not connected in any way. And in contrast to the 2 recent deaths, police say overdose deaths have significantly decreased there in the past few years.
While I don't think that our battle against opioids is by any means over, I think that we've made great strides in addressing it in our community and really decreasing the number significantly.
Lieutenant Johnson says the decrease in opioid overdose deaths is due to the community-wide outreach program put in place by the mayor. Moorhead Public Schools is dealing with a $5.3 million deficit, which is bigger than expected and about 6% of its budget. The schools are pinning the problem on increased spending and special education. Almost all of the district's expenses went up, including transportation funding for new bus routes and higher utility bills. But the biggest bump was in special services. That program jumped up more than $2 million. Special services include special education programs, which district leaders say are growing. The district also says the federal government is not paying its share of the special education budget, which forces Moorhead schools to dip into its general fund. A West Fargo boy who was born with a congenital heart disease is getting a special wish granted through the Make-A-Wish Foundation. He's going to Disney World. Logan Walden was born with the heart disease, and in just 3 years, he's already had 4 open heart surgeries, but he doesn't let it slow him down. He's active like any other 3-year-old, and he especially loves golf. Tonight at TNT Fitness, he learned he's going to Disney World with his siblings and parents. He tells us what he's looking forward to the most is seeing Mickey Mouse.
Mickey Mouse is a big hit at our house, so he loves it, and our 1-year-old son Brennan. They love the hot dog dance. They love everything about it.
Logan will be heading down to Disney World on Thursday. We'll have his full story on Valley News Live when he gets back home.